Tension, as it has been alleged that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has secretly sent two of his men after investigative journalists David Hundeyin. David Hundeyin is journalist now seeking asylum in Ghana, reason being that the federal government has secretly sent two agents to kidnap him from Accra, Ghana. David Hundeyin is a small man who has balls, and his name should be entered into the Guinness Book of World Records for the exploits he has embarked on. This guy is being currently discovered by an investigative journalist, and not the lawyer type of investigative journalist though. This is a real journalist of Nigeria, his origin, who has been on or in exile and seeking asylum in Ghana because of how our Nigerian government has tried to walk him out cheap. The government has also told the Ghanaian government to further chase him out of Ghana into Nigeria, probably an attempt to arrest and prosecute him instead of giving him an award for exposing corruption and corrupt men in Nigeria. One can only think that such move by our government is aimed to silence him forever, but the guy has been so smart and so intelligent to manage his movement and his location so that they will not be able to grab him, meaning that he would have been able to come out to speak against the government or uncover the corruption against the federal government of Nigeria, who sent two secret agents to pick him up and kidnap him by all means possible in Ghana and bring him to Nigeria. This is what the investigative journalists have to say. We should recall that the federal government attempted to kidnap him when he was in Ghana because because of the documents in the department. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has begun to crack down to eliminate journalists who has exposed reports about the FBI's criminal records CSU forged documents. He has launched vicious manhunt for journalists perceived to be too critical to his government. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, whose academic qualifications and alleged involvement in narcotic trafficking in the United States of America, which has been a subject of public debate, has also perfected plans to bribe media proprietors in Nigeria to stop their journalists from reporting issues that will further damage his reputations. Sources familiar with this plot reliably told our newsmen. Nigerians, however, in diaspora are not also left out in this alleged bribing scheme. There is also a coordinated attempt to buy over some vocal support groups in Europe and America, as this will help to tone down the heat the president is currently receiving from these two places. A source also privy to this plot told our newsmen that Mr. Dele Aleki, the Minister of Mines and Steels, is already approaching all mainstream media publishers with a deal to help offset their wage bills to their reporters in exchange to shut out critical stories of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his wobbling government. Millions of naira have been doled out for this project. The second leg of the plot, the source said, will be that any media house or journalist that refuses to accept the mouth-watering offer, the state power will be used as the next alternative to put them in check. The presidency is said to be in a state of quagmire following the announcement by the Federal Bureau of Investigations, FBI, that it will start releasing over 2,500 documents relating to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu by this October. Also, the recent order by United States courts directing Chicago State University CSU to release the academic records of Tinubu to the opposition leader Alhaji Atiku Abubakar added salt to the injury, according to an insider familiar with the development. We should also recall that a federal court in Chicago, in a landmark judgment, ruled that Chicago State University CSU must turn over all records relating to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to Mr. Abubakar within 2 days. It also held that the former vice president sufficiently satisfied the purpose for seeking the records. Judge Jeffrey Gilbert, who presided over the case, further ordered a deposition of designated CSU officials within 2 days after the records have been released, noting that the process can be conducted during the weekend if necessary. The wide media coverage which has greeted the whole recent political events as they unfold, the insider source said, does not sit well with the presidency. Meanwhile, the Nigerian authorities have vowed not to fold their hands without putting up a fight against individuals fingered to be leading the campaign for the release of Tinubu's academic records and the classified files in possession of the FBI. One of the arrowheads who have been in the front burner of this campaign is David Hundeyin, an investigative journalist that led from persecution in Nigeria in 2020 to Ghana. On Thursday, Hundeyin alleged that the Nigerian government was plotting clandestinely to illegally extradite him back to the country over alleged treasonable offenses. Mr. Hundeyin, who is an asylum in Ghana, made the allegation in a video he shared on his official Twitter handle. According to him, the Nigerian government is after him because he leaked the secret documents on the plan of the Economic Community of West African State ECOWAS to invade junta-controlled Niger Republic. The journalist therefore appealed to the Ghanaian President Nana Akufo-Addo not to bow to the pressures from the Nigerian authority. He said last month, when he was the ongoing back and forth between those who wanted to go to war within the ECOWAS bloc against the coup regime in Niger, something happened. The Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu made a move to deploy Nigerian special forces illegally into Nigerian territories to enforce a no-fly zone, which is a euphemism for essentially staging an unprovoked military attack against an independent sovereign nation and a friendly country to Nigeria. As we expected, most people in the Nigerian government and the Nigerian military and in the citizenry at large weren't at all on board with this. But our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was clearly desperate to start this war with Niger, the war that nobody wanted, the journalist alleged, which is David Hundeyin saying. Subsequently, a secret document was leaked to me, a document which contained basically attack instructions, basically staging plans for this illegal invasion of Niger. And I knew that by putting this document out, I could potentially stop the catastrophic invasion, which would lead to an immense and unnecessary loss of West African life. So that's exactly what I did. Early in August, I put out these documents and it had the desired effect. It did, in fact, stop the invasion. Subsequently, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu then tried to seek permission from Nigerian Senate to deploy the Nigerian military to Niger. The Senate knocked this back, and to all intents and purposes, the invasion essentially became a stillborn. It did not happen. It would have been something that would have been catastrophic and would have benefited nobody except the president himself, he said. which is Hundeyin David speaking. Now, after I leaked this document, I was made aware from several sources that Nigeria's military establishment and Nigeria's intelligence establishment became particularly enraged with me. I've been a person of interest for a long time, but with that, I became designated as something of an enemy of states. So I was informed that the Nigerian Intelligence Agency, I'm not sure whether it was the National Intelligence Agency or the Defense Intelligence Agency, but one of these foreign intelligence institutions dispatched a jet to Accra to basically have me illegally rendered to Nigeria. Most recently, I have come to find out that the Tinubu'S government is still trying very hard to enact some sort of illegal rendition. The latest tactic apparently is to lean on the Ghanaian government and accuse me of having apparently sabotaged that ECOWAS mission, and in so doing basically compromise the bloc security of the ECOWAS region. In which case Ghana, being itself an ECOWAS member, is then obligated to cancel my asylum, revoke my refugee status, and revoke my Ghanaian passport, while appealing to Mr. Akufo-Addo. The Hundeyin David noted that he can't survive coming back to Nigeria. I want to urge the Ghanaian president to resist the temptation to allow an illegitimate Nigerian president to push Ghana into breaking international law. This is a law that forbids the illegal repatriation of political refugees back to the country that they fled from, where they are going to face persecution. It is very well known that if for whatever reasons I were to be returned to Nigeria, I would not survive it. This is a secret, he added. This is David Hundeyin pleading to the public and the Ghanaian government.